Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with 100 adventures by myself. This is a special celebration of having done 100 adventures. This is number 100, so can you believe we made it this far? We have no plans of stopping anytime soon, as long as everyone's enjoying it, and I certainly still am. So this is, it's a little bit harder to see on this one, but I actually have 3 puzzles for you today. The first puzzle is a between lines puzzle, which is your standard difficulty for Sudoku Adventure. Should be easy for anyone to tackle. Well, easy is the wrong term, but it should be in line with what you're used to in Sudoku Adventures. And then the other 2 are bonus ones that are a little bit more difficult, though still, I think, still approachable, but maybe a little bit beyond what you'd be used to in Sudoku Adventure. So I'm going to go through each one. I'll go first. I'm going to show you kind of what the theme is here, where I've spelt 100 using the constraints, and then we also have even odd squares and a given 1 to spell out 100 in a few places in the grid. The German Whisper one is similar. It's the easiest one to read, the 100 across here, and then we have 100 up here. And then we also have an arrow one, where the arrows spell the same 100. They occupy the same cells, and then we have 100 down here. So I'm going to go over the rules of each one as we get to them. I'll make chapters below if you want to skip to each one. But yeah, I'll go over the rules, solve it, and then move on to the next one. And we'll do that for all 3 puzzles in this one video. So to start with, this is a between lines Sudoku. So we have normal Sudoku rules. So in every row, every column, and every 2x3 box, we are placing the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each. We also have these between lines. So between lines, whatever we fill in the circles, say this was 2 and 5, these 2 digits have to be strictly between the 2 and 5. So they can't be 2 or 5, and they can't be outside that range. So they could be, say, they'd have to be 3 and 4 in this case. So they'd be 3, 4 like that, or they'd be 3, 4 like that. You can repeat digits on a between line. So I could put like a 2 here and a 2 here, as long as one of these is a 1, say this one. So, but obviously you can't repeat in the column because Sudoku doesn't allow it. So I could do like two 2s, a 3 and a 4, and I could put a 5 there. So that's how between lines work. Additionally, we have gray squares, which are even, just means the digit on there is even, and gray circles means the digit on there is odd. For all of these, if the circle is part of another constraint, it's not an odd circle. The odd circles are filled in gray. So just keep that in mind. Don't get confused about like the between line circles or the arrow circles. Those are not odds, just the gray circles. Okay. So those are the rules. Definitely give the puzzle a try yourself. There's a link in the description, and I'm going to get started right now. All right. So one of the most important things about between lines to kind of get started on a lot of puzzles is asking where 1 and 6 go, because you can never put a 1 or a 6 on a between line, because then there's nothing outside of that to encompass it, right? What would I put here? A 7? You can't put 7s in a 6x6. So you can't make a number bigger than 6. So 1 and 6 simply cannot go on any of these between lines. In fact, let's just mark them a little bit gray just so that we can see that. So that means that in this box here, 1 and 6 are limited to these 2. And this 1 tells us the order. So this is a 6, that's a 1. And so now in this box, where does 1 go? It can only go here. And then in this box, where does 1 go? It can only go here. And these ones look down, and this one looks over, and we place the 1 here, and we are suddenly done with the 1s. 6s, one of these 2 is a 6. This 6 looks over, so one of these 2 is a 6. 6s aren't quite as kind in this puzzle. I should actually fill the odds and the evens, so let's do that. These 6s look up. And there's a 6 in one of these 2. So now I don't think we need the grays anymore. Let's get rid of those to not confuse ourselves. So now this is a 1. So let's think about this. This can repeat a digit, but this could be 2, 3, 4 at minimum. It could also include a 5, but minimum it's 2, 3, 4. And so that means that this has to be 5 or 6 in order to encompass that range. And these are from 2, 3, 4, 5, but that's not really worth marking. Okay, so now this can't have a 1 on it at all, which means the low digit has to be a 2. If the low digit were a 3, if we did 3, 6, we could only put 4 and 5 on these, and that wouldn't work. We'd have too many 4, 5s. So we are going to have a 2 here, and it's going to be joined by a 5 or a 6. Actually, not even by a 5. It has to go 2, 6. And then these have to be from 3, 4, 5. That's what's happening there. And this is also 3, 4, 5, in case we care. So that places a 2 in this column. It goes here. That gives us a 4 and a 6. This cannot be a 4. So 4 in this column goes here. This is not a 4. This is a 2. All right, so this is a triple. We need a 3, 4, and 5. So what can this really be is the question. So this can't be 1 or 2. So it can't, if it was a 3, right? No matter how big we make this, even a 5, there'd only be 4s on here, right? So it can't be a 3 either. It can't be a 4. There's no way. It would be with a 3 or 5 here. And it can't be a 5. So actually it must be a 6. And then that's a 6. And then we know that even with the 3 here, this would have to be a, we have to go down. We have to go 6, 5, 4, right? And then so this ends up a 3. So there are probably other ways to see that, but hopefully that's a clear way to understand that. And then the puzzle basically just finishes from here, as far as I remember. This is a 3, 5 pair. This is a 2, 6 pair. This is a 2. This is 3 and 4 as well. So we get 3 and 4 here. That's 5 and 3. That's 6 and 2. 2 and 6, and a 5. There we go. 4 minutes, not too bad. Solving my own puzzle. I don't have a solve path planned out for these, but obviously I have solved them before because I set them. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that one. I'm going to move on to the next one. Again, these kind of get harder as we move forward, although there was a little bit debate about whether the German Whisper or Arrow was harder. It really just depends on experience and personal experience and just luck in spotting stuff. But yeah. Feel free to just watch the German Whisper and the Arrow one, but if you want to give them a try, just know that they are more difficult. I still encourage you to try. Stretch your legs a little bit if you're able to. I don't know if stretch your legs is the right saying for that, but that's the saying I'm going to go with. Stretch your horizon. I don't know. Anyway, let's go over the German Whisper rules. So, we have standard Sudoku rules in all of these. So in every row, every column, and every 2x3 box, we're placing the digits 1 to 6, exactly once each. We also still have our odd cell and our even cell, just one of each on this one. And then German Whispers, as you move along the line, you have to have a difference of at least 3. So if this is a 1, then this has to be at least 3 away from the 1. So it'd have to be a 4, 5, or 6. And then we keep doing that as we move along. So this could be, say, a 2. But what we can't do is make this, say, a 4, because 2 to 4 only has a difference of 2. We need a difference of at least 3. This has a difference of 4. This has a difference of 5. That's perfectly fine. Those are all at least 3. Don't get confused by the loop. It works exactly how you'd expect it. Just everything has 2 adjacent digits. All right. So those are the rules. You can repeat digits on the German Whisper lines as long as other rules allow it. Again, there's a link in the description to all 3 of these, and I'm going to get started right now. All right, let's just start with these. This is 3 and 5, and this is 2, 4, 6, just so we don't forget. So the thing with German Whispers in 6x6 is 3 and 4 are the most restricted for German Whispers. So let's take a working example here. So yeah, let's do this one. Let's do this one. This one's probably the least restricted, but still demonstrates. Could this be a 3? Well, if this was a 3, there is only one digit 3 away from 3. So this is forced to be 6. But this is also forced to be 6. So the answer is no, it can't be a 3 because it forces 6 to repeat in the column. So now this could be 3. This could be double 6, and Sudoku rules allow that, so that would be fine. So there are certain cells that can't be 3 or 4. 4 has the same issue, it repeats the 1. So if we look at this box, this can't be 3 or 4, this can't be 3 or 4, and neither can these, because if they were, they would repeat either in the box or they would repeat in the column. So 3 and 4 can't go here. And so this is a 3-4 pair. Oops, 3-4 pair. And so now can this cell be a 4? And no, it can't, because 4 has to go with 1, and there's already a 1 in the column. So actually that's a 3 and that's a 4. As soon as we place this 3, it joins, the 6s have to join it on both sides, as we were talking about. And then this needs to be less than 4, right? It has to be 1, 2, or 3, but 1 and 3 are taken, so that's a 2. Now this has to be 5 or 6, but 6 is taken, so it's a 5. And then this is a 1 or a 2 to go with the 5. So huge progress there. This is just finished as the column with a 5, so that's a 3. So now the next thing you can see is that this 1, 3 need to go down here somewhere. So there's a 1 and a 3 down here somewhere. The question is, can I get away with having not a 1 or a 3 in both of these cells? And obviously the answer is no. I can't put 1 and 3 in this cell simultaneously. It doesn't work. And so one of these two will end up what's called low, right? If you notice, we always switch between low and high. So if this is low, this is high, this is low, this is high, because we're subtracting or adding 3 between each cell. That's just how these work out. And so because one of these is low, they're both low. So we're going to end up with a low here of 1, 2, or 3, a high here of 4, 5, 6, a low here, and a 5 here. Now this can't be 5. No, it doesn't mean this is a 1, 3 pair, because this could be a 1, 2, 3. This could easily be 2. But it does mean that we have this going on. Now this can't be a 4 for the same reason we've been talking about. This would be double 1. Okay, so that's done. There's a 6 in one of these two. Might as well mark that. There's a 6 down here. And so the 6 being in one of these, it's going to be joined by a low. It's going to be joined by a 1 or a 2. That means the 5 is here, and it's also going to be joined by a 1 or a 2. So we do need a 5 down here. We also need a 3 and a 1 or a 2. Okay, so this is 2, 4, or 6. What was the next thing to do? One of these is a 5. One of these is a 3. Ah, right. So this can't be a 3 because this can't be a 6. So that places this 3. And so now we do know there's going to be a 1 on here because one of these is going to be low, one's going to be high. That makes this a 2. The 2 looks up, but that's not helpful yet. Let's do this triple though. So we do need 1, 3, and 4. So this can only be a 4. These are not 4s. That's not a 4. There's a 4 down here. So this triple, we need a 1, and then we need a 4 and a 5. So the 5 looks over here. So that's a 4. That places this 4. This is a 1, 5 pair. This is a 6, 5. So the 5 can't go with 3. So the 3 ends up here. Oops, I meant to clear the corner marks there. That's a 5 and a 1. There we go. So now we're doing well. Okay, so this needs to be a 3. This needs to be a 2 and a 4. This needs to be a 6. That's 2 and 6. That's 2 and 6. So the 2 goes with 5, which goes to 1 to 5 to 1. That's a 1, a 2, and a 1. 4 and 2. And finally we need 3 and 4. And we're done. So you can see, even after having created the puzzle and then solved it myself a couple times before recording the video, still a couple sticky points where there's just a few things to spot. But if you do spot them, it doesn't take that long. But I don't blame you if you took significantly longer. This was just a walkthrough. I already knew how to solve it, kind of. We'll see how much I remember the arrow one. I think I do remember the sticky point on the arrow one, so hopefully that one won't have a point where I get stuck too much. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this one. Let's go over the arrow version of 100 Adventures. So again, in every row, every column, and every 2x3 box, we are placing the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each. We also have the odd circle and the even circle. Let's just fill that now. This is 3, 5. This is 2, 4, 6. All right, and we have these arrows in the grid. So digits on an arrow sum to the value in the circle. So if this is 2 and 4, that sums to 6. We place a 6 in the circle. That's how arrows work. And that's it. Those are the rules. There's a link in the description if you want to try the puzzle yourself. I'm going to take a drink of water. Again, this is of the harder variety, harder than what you might be used to in Sudoku Adventure. But I believe in you. You should give it a try. But either way, I'm going to get started right now. All right, well, I hit restart, so we're going to fill this again. Okay, so the obvious place to start is 1, 2, 3 is the minimum on a 3-cell circle, and that adds to 6. And we can't add to more than 6 because we can't fill a number bigger than 6 in there. So that's what we get. That gives us a 5. Look how generous I am with these digits. We have a 4, 6 pair here. All right, so now if we look at this box here, it's going to need a 6 in it. That goes over here somewhere. So that's not a 6. Again, we can't put 6 on a line because we'd be adding it with something else and then adding to more than 6. Okay. Excuse me. So we need a 5 up here somewhere. So I'll just mark. It's going to accompany a 1 and add to 6. I don't think that's the next thing to look at, though. Right, so we need a 6 in this box. That's what I was missing. The 6 sees down and 6 can't go on the arrow. So that's a 6 and that's a 4. So that's 2. So now we can just fill these triples. So this is a pair. We have 1, 2. We need 3 and 6 here. And we know the order. Okay. And then, so this is going to be 1, 2, 5. And this is going to be 3, 4, 6. Okay. So this can't be 5 because the minimum would be 5 plus 3 is 8. This obviously can't be a 6. So we're either going to do, yeah, and so our minimum is 1 plus 3 is 4. So this is not a 3. So we can do 1, 3, 4, or we can do 2, 4, 6, but that's it. And so that may or may not come in handy later, but that's an observation. Let's see. So let's fill this triple. We need a 2, a 4, and a 5. Oh, this adds to 6. So we'd be either 1. Oh, this does not add to 6. That's the more important thing. This does not add to 6. So that's not a 5. That places this 5. That places this 1. I knew I was missing something. So we do have a 1 in one of these two. Now, let's think about this arrow here. It can't have a 2 on it. So its minimum would be 1, 3. Which adds to 4. So this adds to 4 or 6. So if we did add to 4, the only way is 1, 3. It would be 1, 3 like that. If we wanted to add to 6, we could do 1, 5. We can't do 2, 4. So actually, this is always a 1. And this is always either 3 or 5. And now the other thing we need to look at, and this is kind of the sticky point, is this arrow here. We need to fill its options. So what can it add to? It could add to 3, 4, or 5, basically, because it sees a 6, and 3 is the minimum for the arrow. So this is minimum 2, so we could do 2, 1, adding to 3. We could also, so with the 1, we could do 2, 3, or 4, right? 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3, or 1 plus 4 adds to 3, 4, or 5. If this was a 2, then this can't be a 2, so our minimum would be 2 plus 3, so we get 2, 3, 5. So the only way this is a 2 is if it's 2, 3, 5. But you can already see that that doesn't work, hopefully, because if this was 2, 3, 5, that breaks this cell. So actually, this is a 1, and then this could still be 3, 4. But that gives us the 2, which gives us the 4 and the 6. And that does finish this box up. This now can't be 4, so this can't be a 3. All right, that gives us a 3, 5 pair here, so that's not a 5. But that's actually not enough. And you could have spotted this without this, but figured I'd show it. So this is the key here. Can this be 6, 1, or sorry, can this be 4, 1, 3? And the answer is no, because if this is a 4, then that ends up a 2. 1 plus 2 is 3, and now we have 2 3s in the row. So I'll fill that out. If this is a 4, this has to be a 3. And now we have 2 and 5 filled here, and 1 plus 2 is not 5. So that doesn't work. This can't be a 4. It must be 6 and 5. That's a 3, that's a 2, that's a 4. And the rest should finish pretty cleanly. It's just Sudoku here. So let's do that. We need 3 and 4 here. Here we've got 1, we need 2 and 4. This is a pair. We need 4 and 5. We know the order. This is a pair. We need 3 and 5. We can resolve all of this stuff now. And finally, we need 1 and 6. Just go like that. So there you go. So I'm actually going to go back and show you that you didn't have to spot this thing. So let's go back to that. All the way back. All right. So when we had this as these possibilities, this still works. If this was a 4 and this was a 3, this sees now the 4 and the 3. So it has to be a 2. 2 forces 1 here, but then we're forced to do 5 here. And again, 1 plus 2 is not 5. So it's the interaction between these arrows that prevent this from being 4, 1, 3. And you have to see that interaction. This puzzle really doesn't solve at all without noticing how these arrows interfere with each other. So noticing that these two cells see these two cells is the important thing, which prevents 4, 3 from working. So I know it's a bit of a tough spot, but there we go. I'm gonna refill the solution, I guess, because people might skip to the end to check their. I don't know why they would, but just in case, I want the end of the video to have the correct solution on it. So we're gonna do that quickly here. It doesn't take long. So we knew what these were, right? 1, 2, 3. We need 4 and 5. And then I think this column was important. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we need the 5 here and the 3 here. And then that places a 3 here and a 4 here. This we need a 2 and a 4, so they go like that. And then we had the 1 and the 6. There we go. Okay, solved again. Cool. So I hope you enjoyed these puzzles. Again, there were sticky spots in the last two. This combination of arrows here, where this couldn't be 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, is a bit sticky. And then in the German Whisper puzzle, I think there wasn't a single spot that was like, ooh, that's really hard. But thinking about the 3 4s in this box, like if you don't think about that, then it's very hard to break into the puzzle. And then also noticing that the 1 and 3 are forced down here, forcing both of these to be low, is actually an important spot. And then there may have been a couple others that I forget. But yeah, you watched the solve. So anyway, just wanted to go over all that. So let me know how you felt about these 3 puzzles. Hopefully you enjoyed them. Hopefully you enjoyed the theme of 100 here. And of course, whatever you enjoyed, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.